Hello, welcome to the Mediabox. I'm joined by Kaya COMER-SCHWARTZ, who is the leader of Islington Council in the UK. Now, you're here talking about the role that your council has played in dealing with anti-Semitism and the rise in anti-Muslim hatred in the UK. What sort of role do you think, at a subnational level, people play in addressing these phenomena?
I was elected to represent my community, and 43% of Islington is born outside of the UK. So it's really important that I represent my whole community, and I serve them by creating spaces that champion diversity and also protect them and keep them safe. So we've been doing a lot of work in my borough, both funding organisations that represent different communities, both from the Muslim faith, the Jewish faith and many others, but also supporting events where we talk about Islamophobia and anti-Semitism, and also creating spaces to celebrate both of those cultures and many others.
Mm-hmm. Can you speak a bit more about how Islington has been going about addressing anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hatred?
Yeah, we sadly had a terrorist attack in 2017. It was an Islamophobic terror attack outside one of our mosques during Ramadan, and we sadly lost a resident and 11 people were injured. So that was a real key moment for us as a community. And what really struck me is, because we're a community that is from all around the world, that it could have been a time that increased tension and hatred and mistrust. But actually what happened was everyone came together to look after each other. And based on that foundation, we've gone on to make sure that we create those spaces for conversations about different cultures and faith, and support organisations that do the same. We every year have a street iftar, which we're going to have next week, where thousands of people come to break fast together from the Muslim community, but also just anyone in Islington and beyond. And similarly, we support Hanukkah events in our borough to support the Jewish community. But we know since the October 7th attack that we've seen more increase in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. So we can't be complacent. We had an anti-Semitic attack in December where the menorah for the Jewish community during Hanukkah was vandalised. And once again, instead of that being, an awful event where everyone just ran away and hid in their houses, the same day, working with the council, we made sure there was a new menorah there for the end lighting of Hanukkah, and we all came together as a community. So it's a practice we must do every day. We've just become a borough of sanctuary, which means that we support immigration and refugees and asylum seekers to feel safe in our community and take up the opportunities that are there for them.
And how do you think events like this, where people from different regions and different local governments are coming together to speak to each other, how can this help in addressing things like anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hatred?
Well, I think it's really important as local authorities, as councils, that we don't just say it's a national issue, it's for national legislation or policy making, and we can't do anything about it. We have to do something about it. These are our communities, so we need to have a conversation about how we're keeping everyone in our community safe, how we're encouraging, people to live together and celebrate each other, but also to thrive and, economically and educationally. And if we don't do that locally, then we create problems of unsafety and, people out of work, and that's not good for anyone. So if we don't set the tone locally, then I don't think we shift the dial nationally. And I think, if I can say in my borough, we have done this, we have, done this really positive work. And, if we all join together and do similarly, then it makes, even better for society more widely. We've seen across Europe the rise in the far right, especially when there's economic problems. People start blaming each other, and politicians can be a force for greatness in that conversation or a force for more division. And in Europe, we must always be conscious of that.
Kaya COMER-SCHWARTZ, leader of Islington Council in the UK, thanks so much for joining me on the Mediabox.
Thank you, Yinka.